Stephen House from Full Time Devils. This is a transfer review. This is the one video where we cram all of the transfer rumours into one easy to digest video so you can watch it and move on with your life. The first one that we're going to talk about today then is Fabinho. We saw Talisca talk on Brazilian TV to try and get a transfer rumour going last week, which seemed to work. Fabinho's gone down the same tactic. To be fair, he was asked. They was clearly trying to get something out of him. Sports Witness have helpfully pulled together all the quotes so you can have a check out of what they're actually saying. Here's the report from Sports Witness. Basically what Fabinho is saying is he would be tempted by a move from Manchester United, and I think there's something in that. As usual, I always say, don't listen to what players, agents, managers and all the rest of it say in a transfer window, as there is an agenda, but usually, that's usually in a denial. When someone basically confirms that their interest, I think there's something in it. Now, it might mean that United haven't bid, it might mean that United have bid, it might mean that he's waiting for a bid, it could mean a number of things. This Fabinho thing is turning into a Fabinho versus Matić thing, so it looks like Manchester United are definitely trying to sign a defensive midfielder. We would all like that because it would mean Paul Pogba gets freed up to do the sort of job that we see him doing for France. That's going to make Manchester United a hell of a lot better next season. So it goes back to this two list thing for me. There's one list that we might have had if we'd got in the Europa League. There's one list that we might have got if we was in the Champions League. You're going, Steve, that was a month ago. Why are we still looking at the list if we'd have got in the Europa League? Well, I still think that list has got some meaning, because if you don't get the people at your first choice on your first list, you need to be working on the second list, because before you know it, the window shuts and you end up signing Fellaini on the last day, don't you? That's how it goes down sometimes. Somebody else talking about Fabinho is Damasio, who reckons it's very close, and that might be worth listening to. Now, check this one out. The MEN are saying that if you rate Fabinho coming to United, then you are a fanboy. Now, this doesn't sit very well with me, because the MEN is Manchester's local paper. When David Meat was there, it was the respected newspaper in the city and the place to go for Manchester United news. That's all changed. They are now below the Metro. They are tier 5. They are something that you just don't listen to. And it's for reasons like this. The MEN have attacked their own readership this weekend, calling them fanboys for wanting the Fabinho transfer. Moving swiftly on into the Matić thing. So Sam Luckhurst reckons that Manchester United are going with Matić. This obviously is counter to what the likes of Damasio are saying about Fabinho. And it looks like there's probably something at play, because there's other outlets talking about Matić this morning as well, ESPN being one of those. So I think that there's probably something in that United are talking to or thinking about or negotiating with both of these players and both of these representatives. I have no idea which one we're going to go for, but let's wriggle it up. So I'm going to say 6 out of 10 for Fabinho, and that for the other one, I guess means that it's 4 out of 10 for Matić as it stands at the moment, but that could change. We don't know how far along these are. I'm just literally assessing what I feel is going on in the press and who I trust and who I don't trust. Harry Kane. Every time I say speculation, take a drink, because this is an article written on speculation about speculation. There's two. So The Independent have written an article where they say there is speculation, drink, that Harry Kane is wanted by Jose Mourinho. It's madness. So basically they're saying that there's a £100 million offer going to be made for Harry Kane, but Tottenham are going to laugh at it because they think he's worth 200. Wait, what? Hang on. 200 million? Like, the talk of Mbappe's fee this summer has blown my mind. The talk of I mean, Paul Pogba went for 89 million and people lost their minds. But Paul Pogba was in a FIFA Pro World 11. Has Harry Kane been in one of those? I don't think so. Has Harry Kane been in the running for a Ballon d'Or yet? I don't think so. So how is he worth 200 million? Gareth Bale went for a world record-ish fee when he went to Real Madrid from Tottenham, but that was on the back of some excellent Champions League performances. Can you tell me any of those that Harry Kane's had? He's done fantastic in the Premier League, and there's no doubt that he's a top-level striker, and he would absolutely improve Manchester United if he came. But 200 million? Are we buying Spurs Stadium? Is that what are we building Spurs Stadium? Is that what we're doing? 200 million for Harry Kane. I would rather put 200 million and cryogenically reverse the aging on Bobby Charlton and find out what he can do with another 20-year career in front of him. You've got to be able to do that with 200 million, haven't you? I mean, you're talking Bond villain type levels of cash here. Can we do that? Harry Kane to Manchester United, 2 out of 10. Nelson Semedo's a name that doesn't seem to want to go away, and that might be because he plays for Benfica, and we know how a Benfica-Manchester United transfer saga can drag on forever. I'm actually amazed that we managed to sign Lindelof from him, because I just thought every transfer rumour linking us was just lies. But here we go, here's another one. So Nelson Semedo is a right-back. He's a very good right-back, very good attacking right-back, something that we don't really have in Valencia. We've got a very solid, good defensive right-back who's all right going forward, not quite the guy that he used to be. I don't understand why we would go for him. I mean, yes, is he an improvement on Valencia? Marginally. marginally a bit of an improvement on Valencia, at least going forward where we need it. Is he an improvement on him defensively? I actually don't think he is. Is he an improvement on him in terms of work rate and all the rest of it? I actually don't think he is. So while there's clear issues at Manchester United, like a defensive midfielder, like the potential issue at left back, like a striker, maybe an attacking midfielder, right back is one of those places, like goalkeeper, that we're pretty sorted for. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but just because it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, it doesn't mean that we're in for it. I mean, Fergie went through a period of buying a left back every transfer window for about 3-4 years, didn't he? So there might be something in this one. I'm not feeling it at the moment. This is from the Sun, which makes me feel it even less. So Semedo to United doesn't feel likely just yet, does it? Although the Sun are saying that they're looking at a replacement for him. It's the Sun. 3 out of 10. Donnarumma. This went crazy this weekend because it started off the weekend with rumours that Raiola was going to get sacked by Donnarumma, and then Donnarumma and Raiola had like a bit of a public love affair with each other, talking all sorts of nonsense on Twitter about each other. Go check it out, it's quite funny. And then Paul Pogba last week dropped this one, saying Donnarumma, soon to be the best in the world. Hang on. What about David De Gea? If I was David De Gea, I'm going to be like, hey, listen, mate, what's going on here? Now, I know they share an agent with Raiola and sometimes things like that can happen. But what if I was to start saying to Gaz, you're the best at fan cams? Imagine how Adam McCullough would feel. None of this, of course, means that he's coming to Manchester United or that there's much speculation that he's coming to Manchester United at the moment either. Drink again, by the way. So I would say on this one, probably a 1 out of 10. I reckon he's getting a new contract somewhere, whether that's at Milan, whether that's at Juventus, Real Madrid, or who knows. Raiola in it. As for Gaz doing fan cams next season, 2 out of 10. Talisca. So we said earlier, didn't we, that Talisca basically talked himself into being in contention for a move to Manchester United. We covered last week the report from Turkish football that covered a report in Turkey which suggested that he'd agreed a deal despite him having a 2-year loan at Besiktas. I said Fenerbahce last week, got it wrong. It's Besiktas. And then, now this is unique, right? His agent comes out and denies that there's a move to Manchester United. That's never happened. That makes me suspicious that there actually be something going on there, because at no point does it benefit an agent to deny that there's a link with his client to Manchester United. A link with Manchester United is what every single footballer seems to want. So why is this guy saying there's no link? That makes me suspicious. Now maybe I'm just a suspicious guy. That makes me suspicious. As for the connection between Talisca and United, I'm going to say 1 out of 10 at the moment. I don't think there's much in it, but I've got to be watching that agent because there's something going on there and I don't like it. James Rodriguez. Now this is a name that is constantly brought up. Now this is in the Express and they're quoting Diario Gol, which might be this window's Don Balon. I don't know how reliable Diario Gol is, but what Diario Gol are saying is that everything is agreed for James Rodriguez to Manchester United. They're the only ones going with this. The Express are the only ones that seems to have picked it up so far. I don't know, maybe we wait out and see on this one. I don't know what I've been rating James Rodriguez to United. I think it probably deserves to have gone up because I think Rodriguez and Griezmann was the same position, one target A, one target B. Now target B doesn't appear to be, or target A doesn't appear to be happening. Maybe target B comes into focus, but then again, we don't know what happened. We don't know if Griezmann decided that he was not going to move this window and is actually going to move next window, next summer. So I don't know if United go, actually, we'll just sit tight on not sign Rodriguez because we're going to get him next window. So I don't know, it's confusing. It's hard to know where to go with at the moment. I mean, and I could be backing up the wrong tree thinking that these was 2 players on the list for the same position. They might not have been. I could have just made that up. So it's a tough one. I'm really struggling on this one. I'm going to say 5 out of 10 Rodriguez to United. Lewandowski now. This is my favourite number 9 in the world. I've never spoken about him coming to United, or I don't think I have anyway, because I just didn't think it was a realistic target. I always thought the more realistic one would have been somebody like a Lukaku, but let's face it, Lewandowski is the world's best number 9 and I would swap him for anybody. Absolutely love the guy. So when reports emerged last week that United was in for him, I was like paying attention, not believing it, sitting back, protecting myself from having all the heartache and tears and crying and everything. But I was thinking, this is interesting, gonna watch this one with a close eye. Now, pretty quickly after the rumour emerged, Bayern Munich just dropped an absolute hammer on everybody and said, hey, listen, that's our player. And any illegal approaches, anyone thinking that they're talking to him without going through us is going to face FIFA sanctions. Oh shit. To be fair, that's how it should always go with transfers. Didn't stop them talking to him when he was a Dortmund player, but you know, that's by the by. Anyway, so Lewandowski also come out and quashed the rumour himself pretty quickly afterwards, so I guess that's that one. Or is it? Either way, I don't think it's going to happen, so I'm going to say a 0 out of 10, sadly, for Lewandowski to United. Gareth Bale. Now, this is a player that I would absolutely love at Manchester United, and I do see it happening one day, eventually, somehow, maybe. Anyway, so this is the Star, quoting a Football Weekly podcast. Barry Glendenning has said he's convinced Gareth Bale's coming to Manchester United. Now, I've not listened to the podcast, so they could have taken this massively out of context, so I can't comment on what he's actually said, only what the Star have written that he said. But check this out. Barry writes for The Guardian, and he's not written an article on it himself, which makes me massively sceptical that the Star have taken this out of context. And it's a red top after all, that's what they do. So I'm gonna give this a rating on the back of this rumour, a 0 out of 10. But if you've listened to it, let us know in the comments what it says. And if Barry, if you're watching, do you want to come and explain to us like what you said? Or maybe I should just download it myself, how about that? Aliou Traoré, now this was a player that was on trial at Manchester United in the under-15s and 16s, I think it was 16s, last season. And one of the under-16s players that I've spoken to said he's mint and he's like a copy-paste of Paul Pogba. Now, the little clips that I've seen of him, he's got the same sort of stature and long legs as Paul Pogba. Seems to be a good box-to-box goal-scoring midfielder. And the fact he's French, it's a pretty lazy comparison to make, innit? But I see where they're coming from. Now, this is a pretty much done deal as far as I was aware. So I'm going to give this one a 10 out of 10 that it happens. And let's see for another guy to leave Juventus in a couple of years and be signed for a world record fee. Happy days. The next one that we're going to talk about is Jordi Alba. Now, this is another one that doesn't really make a lot of sense. It was first brought up in some sort of swap deal with Ander Herrera, and we absolutely laughed at it. That's not changed. Now, someone else has wrote an article, Dario Gol again. I mean, they are going to be this season's Don Balon. And they're reckoning that United are still in for the guy. There might be something in that we're in for the guy, but there's no rumours, nothing in substance about anything with Ander Herrera going the other way. Forget that one. Jordi Alba, Manchester United, 3 out of 10 at the moment. Don't really see much in it. And the next one that we're going to talk about is Marquinhos. Why would we sign another centre-half when we've just signed a centre-half? We've got one rehabilitated and we've got a couple of absolute bangers in the academy that deserve game time. If we're going to sign another centre-half, surely Mike Smalling, Chris Smalling or Phil Jones need to be shipped out. Maybe both of the Smallings, I'm not sure. I don't think we're going to sign another centre-half while all of them are still on the books. And I certainly don't think we're going to be signing one for 70 million euros if that's the case, because unless Jose is going to play a 3 at the back next season, it makes absolutely no sense, because Bay is your first choice. I would assume Lindelof is the second choice. I think Rojo, when he's fit, is going to be the third choice. Where's Marquinhos fitting all that lot? I don't know. So Marquinhos to United, 1 out of 10, not seeing anything in it at the moment. Alvaro Morata, I actually expected there to have been something happened between now and last week. I really did. He's been on his honeymoon. He's on his honeymoon at the moment. He's had his wedding. And I feel like something was going to happen. Rob Dawson expects that there's something going to happen before the tour. Lots of others saying that something should have happened by now. I guess it's the same line as I used last week. I expect something to happen in the next week or so, especially as it's ticking over to the 1st of July now. I do think that we are going to be looking at a deal getting completed, if we are actually in for the guy, very soon. There doesn't seem to be any roadblocks in the way. It seems that United and Madrid are pretty close in terms of the fee. I'm sure that's a formality to get done. But check this out, the Sun, I mean, for starters, working for the Sun, but for two, can you imagine going to university, doing a journalism degree, becoming a reporter, and then making articles like this? So Morata's liked, Instagram like klaxon, Morata's liked a post from Juan Mata. That means he's coming United, obviously, or maybe it means that they're Spanish teammates and they actually know each other. He's on his honeymoon, he's posting loads of stuff on Instagram, he's probably sitting on the beach doing nothing, just scrolling through. Oh, Juan Mata's post something, I love Juan, give him a hug, have a like. I can't get my head around deciding that making a story out of someone liking something, it's absolute nuts. As for the deal, do I think it's going to happen? 9 out of 10. He's coming, isn't he? That was a couple of ins, getting loads this week. This is the out. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is Anthony Martial to Arsenal. When you've stopped laughing, get back up and listen to what I've got to say. So Mbappe has apparently chosen Real Madrid after Zidane spoke to him. Pretty easy choice if your choice is Arsenal or Real Madrid. Said a few weeks ago, didn't we, that Arsenal bidding for Mbappe was just something so they could say they bid for him. I don't think there was a serious bid going in from them whatsoever, but apparently Mbappe has chosen Real Madrid from Arsenal. I'm sure that was really hard for him. And now they're turning their attention to Anthony Martial, who's been frozen out at Manchester United. So Anthony Martial made 42 appearances for Manchester United. All right, most of them off the bench, but whatever, still made them. And he was leading scorer under Louis van Gaal. So this isn't a player that's been frozen out for me. Like, that's what they're basing this story on. Martial's been frozen out, so then he's going to move off elsewhere. I mean, Wenger's only probably bidding for him, so when he wins a Ballon d'Or, he can say that he was in for him because he loves that game, doesn't he? I just see no reason why he would want to go, whether they bid what United would value him at plus £1. I don't know. This doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever why they would bring him in. All right, I reckon there's going to be a vacancy for a left-sided attacker pretty soon because it looks like Sanchez doesn't want to be there, and who can blame him? But I don't think Anthony Martial is going to go to Arsenal. Why would... I mean, that's a massive step down, let's face it. I mean, I think he's going to be an important part of Manchester United next season and for the future, and there's no way he's going to ruin his career by going to somewhere that's as absolutely finished as Arsenal. Adnan Januzaj. So there was a report from ESPN from Andy Mitten saying that there was no deal done yet, but there's lots of reports of bids being submitted from Real Sociedad and even Lyon for around about 9.7 to £10 million. It feels close, doesn't it? It feels like Januzaj is definitely on his way. I'm going to say 8, 9 out, let's call it 9 out of 10. I don't think he's got much of a future next season at Manchester United, and he's going to continue with his David Moyes tribute tour. That's it for this week. There has been this many players linked with Manchester United so far this summer. Keep sending us all your reports. We read every single thing that you send us. Check your sources and make sure to keep fact-checking and pulling up those journalists when you think that they're talking utter shite. Transfer Review is going to be back in 2 weeks. Until then, we'll see you later.